I want to start with PFAS instead. So Administrator Regan, thank you for being here today. PFAS is a rapidly growing challenge in the state of Arizona. For example, in Tucson, which relies on a sole source drinking water aquifer, there's a growing PFAS plume, and it's jeopardizing the community's secondary source of drinking water. And as drought conditions get worse, our aquifers could go from being our secondary source of drinking water to the primary source, making it even more critical that we address PFAS contamination sooner rather than later. That's why, as we were drafting the bipartisan infrastructure law, we ensured that there was dedicated funding for PFAS treatment projects that could be allocated to the states quickly. I'm hopeful that as EPA develops implementation guidance, the unique needs of drought-prone states like Arizona can be kept in mind. As you finalize guidance under the infrastructure law for the Small, Underserved, and Disadvantaged Communities Grant Program, how will the needs of areas experiencing prolonged drought conditions receive needed assistance when addressing these cleanups?
Well, thank you for that question, Senator. And one of the great things about the foundations of the bipartisan infrastructure law is it provides the states and communities with the flexibilities to address the unique needs on the ground. I think what you'll see coming from EPA as it relates to these, the water infrastructure resources are existing flexibilities, but the reliance on our states as co-regulators. We believe that the states and communities know their people better than we do. And so as we prescribe these programs, it is done with an eye towards the innovation and the creativity and the flexibility that the states have been focused on for those specific issues that are unique to their states, like in your case, sole source and PFAS contamination.
And one specific issue is that we are, over the last 20 years, been suffering from this historic drought. So is that something that at EPA is part of the consideration?
Absolutely. We are laser focused on providing our water utilities with the technical assistance and the resources that you need for a resilient 21st century water infrastructure. We need to see more reuse. We need to see more water efficiency. We also need to improve the quality of that water. All of those things are top of mind. And we believe that we are designing our relationship with our co-regulators such that it's not an academic exercise, but more so an opportunity to execute and implement real on-the-ground solutions.
And do you believe that the PFAS contamination in sole source aquifers poses a particular challenge for affected communities?
Absolutely, I do. Absolutely, I do.
And what do you, if you could just outline, I only have about a minute and a half left, how do you think the process of PFAS removal, I mean, what does this look like 10 years from now?
You know, it fits well with our PFAS strategic roadmap. I believe that, number one, we've asked for the resources to pull in more health-related data, more science data, so we understand the impacts and implications of PFAS. But number two, we need that data so that we can establish drinking water levels as well as cleanup levels. That latter is so important. Once we get the health data we need to establish these cleanup levels, then we can hold the polluters accountable, and we can force these polluters to use their resources instead of taxpayer dollars to clean up the mess that they've caused.
Do you think it's reasonable to expect that in coming years we could get the, and I know you don't have the data sitting in front of you, but get the Tucson aquifers and the other aquifers that are contaminated by PFAS in the state of Arizona and other states back to where they need to be, safe and reliable drinking water sources?
That is our desire. That is our hope. I saw this firsthand in North Carolina. I saw the devastation that it caused. I know how much money it's costing these water utilities, especially these small water utilities, to provide safe, reliable, and affordable drinking water. We have to get there for the American people.
All right, thank you.